welcome to the Dice Gods. My name is Hydra, and today is a day of firsts. Not only is this the first time you're seeing my face on camera, but also this is the first time we're going to have a guest on the show. And if you're going to have a guest, it's best to go big if it's the first time. So we have gone for the biggest of big when it comes to Warcrow. We have gone for the Siren of Sienen, the Harbinger of the hegemony. We have gone for the soul-stealing singer of the Scions. Wargamers of the Dice Gods, may I present to you Hoopoe. With tea! With tea! Outstanding. I have mine here. Hello!
Oh yes. Big cheers through the screen, please.
Indeed, indeed. Although it's worth saying, we've been chatting so long that not only is my tea finished, but it would also be cold by now.
I just refilled my cuppa. Hello, travellers from Hydra, the Dice Gods. It is my utmost pleasure being here, invited over. This is so exciting, Hydra. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. I'm really pleased and really grateful that you're taking the time out to come and hang out with us and answer some random questions and weird and wonderful thoughts. So, because I can imagine that right now, because we are, as it stands, today, we have had the announcement of the special edition miniature that comes out with Winds from the North, Ice Bear.
Yes.
Oof.
I know. Big boy.
What are you doing to me? See, I'm sat here. I've got three factions, right? I know I've got three factions. The Northern Tribes was not one of them.
Oh, so now you have 4?
Now I've got 4, and there's only 6.
I know.
What are you trying to do to me? I have children to feed.
Honestly, I take zero responsibility for any of Corvus Belli's action. I am but a whisper. I am but a bird. I shan't be blamed for anything. Just go about my day without consequences.
I see. You just make the things that steal our money. I get it. I like that. It's nice.
Not just me. It's just that's the thing. I'm not a single target to shoot, or I'm not a single tree to bark. You would need to be barking in a huge woods for by different species of trees, because we're many people involved in this project, and we cooperate all of us together to create these things. I am the face you see, but definitely I am representing a bunch of people, and it's an honor to be here speaking for them.
That's one thing. Before we get into the questions that I have to ask, that's one thing I wanted to ask. When you came on board with Corvus Belli for this project, did they say to you, we're going to put you all over the internet every day, at every possible angle, constantly, until this game comes out? They let you know, did they?
Yeah, it was something I was asked during my interview. Would you be okay? Because because of my background and all the jobs and my activities out of my daily job thing, because I used to have a little base, and as you have already detected, I love talking. I do enjoy talking. I am verbose and I blabber quite a lot, which doesn't mean I say anything which makes sense, but I like to produce words out of my mouth. And they asked me, would it be okay? Would you be content being the ambassador for this new fantasy IP? And I was so humble, like oh, really? I'd be honored. Like, it would be so fun. Like, come on, being the ambassador for a fantasy new IP in a new universe while working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would love to. I would love to do that. And yeah, I agreed on that. And there were a lot of conversations about me being okay with the exposure, the recordings, the videos, the pictures. So nothing is a surprise. I'm not doing anything against my will, and CB doesn't have me doing anything I don't want to do.
Blink twice if they told you to say that. Love it. That's really cool. I mean, it's not many times you get to get into that sort of creative role, but also then go off and cosplay as the characters you're creating and tease thousands of nerds around the world simultaneously.
It's been a while since I put on a costume. Some people loved it, some people hate it. I understand. It's not everyone's Cooper. It was definitely mine. But, if time comes back, if time comes to be cosplayed again, I would do so.
I
Oh,
think it should.
but it was
I
fun.
think
It was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
some people just don't like fun. They just don't. Because it's, when I saw, especially the Scions one, for some reason the Scions thing resonated with me. I don't know.
Uh,
But when I
it
saw
was
the
the
Scions one,
simplest of all them all. It was the simplest one. It was a black dress, a curtain, and the crown on my head, like the headpiece I was wearing, is actually worn. I don't have the words, not even in Spanish, to describe what it is. But when we cast the metal for infinity,
hmm
in the molds, there's this part, this metallic whale sort of thing
yeah,
that is discarded because that is not a figure. And what our work, what the workers here at Corvus do is they would cut the figurines or the parts of the figures and the miniatures and discard that one to be melted again. It's one of those.
ah,
I'm wearing a scrap of metal
behind the
from
scenes,
a
right there,
mold. Yeah,
lifting the curtain on the magic, just like that.
I know. And the rings on my fingers are not rings, are parts of metals that were discarded and were about to be melted again. But I said, hey, can I use them for just this quick, stupid thing? Yeah. They allowed me to do so. So everything I'm wearing on my hands is actually scraps of metal
So,
for future infinity miniatures. So you might have one of those pieces in your
a
house.
piece of history for Warcrow. So if you have a miniature that turns out to be particularly different in the way that it behaves in game, that could be the slight tinge left over from some. I mean, I'm just throwing that one out there, but awesome. CB accepts no liability for any miniatures that start stalking you around your house. Obviously, so
Again, zero responsibility for basically anything I do.
that seems reasonable. I've tried to live my life that way. The number of kids in the house says that hasn't worked, but I've tried, and that's important. Cool.
Are you one of those kids, Hydra?
I'm the biggest one.
Yeah.
You've got to feel sorry for Lilith as my wife. She like, yeah, she has the little ones and then she has me, and I'm the most destructive and the most difficult to
I thought
control
as much.
because I can drive. So
I have a license.
this is it. Bye.
And you have access to adult money.
Yeah, and alcohol. These are all good things. These are all good things. But more importantly, tea. Um, so anyway, we're here for a purpose. We're talking about Warcrow, obviously. I'm going to start with a challenge. I would like you to describe Warcrow and why people should play it in 30 seconds. Are you ready? Impress me.
Okay. Oh, that's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sure, I can try. It might not be 30 seconds. I'm pretty positive it's going to be 45, something like that. But I can try. Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So Warcrow is a unit based in fantasy. I was going to say infinity.
It's going well. It's going well.
It's because I have my infinity background over here.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I love me infinity. So it's just I feel like it's a company me, aren't you, big boy? Okay, so Warcrow is a unit-based fantasy war game by Corvus Belli. It's quick, it's very approachable, and it has a lot of interesting things that occur during the gameplay. It has an alternative activation style with a turn tracker where events happen, and narrative is also a very important part in our games. And we have beautiful races mixing classics with a new kick from Corvus Belli. And I think if this is your first attempt to wargaming, please start for Warcrow. You're going to love it. And if you've wargamed for quite a while, please play Warcrow. You're going to love it because it's quite different.
Yeah, that works.
How did I do?
That was good. That was good. I didn't time it. I just basked in the glory of the enthusiasm and the wisdom. No, I'd actually go with that. I think for new players, I think Warcrow is accessible. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's something that there's a lot of depth to, but not a lot of complexity, which is going to be good. We like that. That's fun.
Yeah, I think I described it as an onion in my last interview, meaning it has a lot of layers. So you can make it as complex as simple as you'd like. On the other hand, if I may say that, at least for me, from a designing point of view, simple does not equal boring.
No.
Simple is just the opposite of complicated. None of them mean boring.
No. No, absolutely, and it's something that Infinity, for me, this is when I set my comments section on fire. I don't think Infinity is complicated. I think Infinity is deep. It runs on a
And
set.
complex, yeah.
Yeah, it runs on a set of standard mechanisms which are modified by specific rules, which gives it depth, not complexity. And
Definitely.
if you approach it in the right way, it's 9 times out of 10 with Infinity, when people don't gel with it, it's because they try and learn all of the rules and use them all in the first game. And it's just,
and it went go.
no, boom. And I think,
don't do that, please.
No. But I think with Warcrow, the introduction of the card system is really going to help with that. It's going to make it more accessible. It's going to make it clearer and cleaner and avoid too complex interactions and stuff. So it's really cool. It's really cool. I approve of that description.
Thank you.
Yeah, bravo.
And it's not scripted. Like, I don't have I have a piece of paper and a pen with me. Why is this? Because I am very fidgety, so I need to have something in my hands as I'm speaking. It doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. I would just have a piece of paper over here with a, do you want to subscribe to our newsletter? And
you're a creative, darling. You're a creative. We're all like it. We all have to have things we fiddle with.
Not as much creative as I am nervous.
But I'm lovely, and everyone loves you. It's great.
Yeah, it's just it's a personality trait. I am a very you
got the
active,
energy.
I'm a very energetic person, and that's like, I need to be moving and playing with my necklaces or my hands or anything. So that's why I would always have a piece of paper and a pen so I can. It's just I've been a good student, and that's why I was not a nightmare for my teachers, because if I wasn't, I would be like.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I tend to fidget with stuff and move stuff around and have 3 drinks on the go while I'm having one conversation. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Non-alcoholic, just in case anyone's worried. It is the middle of the afternoon. So, we are at this very point less than a month away from the launch of the pre-order. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Whoa, there's a lot of big feelings involved. I am excited, of course. I am terrified at the same time, in a good way, I would say. Nonetheless terrified. There's this very daunting feeling about launching a completely new game. I am tired because we've been working a lot. I am somehow energized at the same time because workflow just doesn't stop. That's one thing about the things you guys see. For example, today, as of the recording of this video, we launched at Ice Bear, and we showed you the miniature and the art. I knew of that for quite a long while. We've been playing with that profile. We've been testing the creator. We've been, working with the design. I knew he was there, so he's not new for me. So sometimes you could fall out of excitement. You fail to be excited about things they're there. However, every time we launch something and you guys your reactions, it's at least to me, they're refreshing. They're new. Like, this is the first time they see it. It's their first time. However, I can positively say that because I already have my mind and my team also set on other things to come in the future, because that's how we work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wee bit difficult to be, are you excited for Warcrow and the launching? I am. I truthfully am. But I am thinking about all the things that are going to launch in the future, and I'm working on them at this very instant. So it's a very confusing moment.
What you're saying is, what you should do right now is share the things you are excited about, which are coming, and tell us all about them. I think that's perfectly reasonable. You should give us your hype train. What's the next thing that's coming? I know you're not going to do it. I know you're not going to do it. It's not one of the options.
You can try, though. I invite you all to try. I'm quite good at keeping my mouth shut. It doesn't look like I am, but I haven't slipped anything yet. maybe this is the first time I do. We'll figure out.
Here we go, people.
I was this close of dropping something at from the Folks interview. This close.
I heard. There was one interview where you're like, "Can I say?" No, I don't think I can. Ooh, and I was like, "Damn it!
I was close.
Damn it!
Oh,
The people want to know."
Oh
No.
no, to be completely fair, I think that one, the one I almost mentioned, I think it wouldn't even be considered like a big spoiler because I run it by my team like, wow, guys, I've been very close to mention this, and they were looking at me like, is that a big thing though? Yeah, it's a mid thing. It's cool, it's nice, but it's a mid thing. You know, it wouldn't count for me as a like, wow, massive spoiler.
So you wouldn't even really get in trouble if you told us now.
Yeah, I would.
Damn it.
With myself. I would be upset with myself. And also because I have Hydra, I have a secret to keep now. When the thing launches, I would tell you, this was it.
Don't put me on a horse or not give me a ride. That's just not fair. That's.
But I can promise you I would. For example, a month ago or so, I uploaded on my Instagram stories, because I'm quite active on Instagram, different songs, and I mentioned they were attached to a particular troop from each army. And people were very curious about Feudum because I had one that was Thunderstruck by AC/DC. As in, how did that match a Feudum person? Because you guys, you haven't seen the person I have. And then when the videos launched, and you could also see the Feudum miniatures, although Feudum's video is not out yet, as we're recording these videos, not out yet. But it is the mace, la dyslexia, high five. It is the knight with a hammer.
Yep.
That's a hammer. You've seen him already. My God, I love that man. I have a very special connection to that one. I have a very, very special connection to that troop. I love him, and it's him. So when it launched, I said it. It was him. the Feudum lass, well, lad actually. This one's a boy. So the Feudum laddie I was talking about.
Thunderstruck.
So you have my word, I would say.
I look forward to it and seeing whether it was worth it. It will be worth the wait. We're on the hype train. It's a thing that's happening.
Oh my God, it would so be worth the wait. It's not a big one. I emphasize it's not a big one, but again, it's one of our children.
Yeah, but it's not a big one because it's not. It's one of those things. It's not a big one because you're on the inside looking out, and you don't know.
No.
No.
No, it's not. It's not a big one because it won't be groundbreaking regarding the game.
Doesn't stop it being cool though.
No, definitely.
That's the thing.
It is very cool. At least I think it's very cool because
it's like
their own.
So it's like when I saw the War Surgeon. Love the miniature. Absolutely phenomenal. When I saw the profile for the War Surgeon coupled with the rules, that was even cooler. Because we have a cool miniature, and then She just, she's so cool, and she does the thing with the thing, and it's so cool. Knowing that a miniature looks that cool. There's nothing worse than, like, in other systems, obviously, never in Infinity. You get a really cool miniature, and then you look at what it does in the game, and you're like, oh, well, I'm never taking it. It's cool. I love the miniature. I'm buying the miniature, and I'm going to paint it and be like, yay, never mind. Whereas with the War Surgeon, I looked at it, looked at the rules, and went, hell yeah, you're coming to as often as possible, probably twice, if I could, which I can't, but anyway.
It's too good to be included twice.
Always ruining my fun. Always ruining my fun.
I know.
But yeah, so it's not necessarily a case that just because it doesn't break the game, it doesn't stop it from being like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It is very cool.
Awesome. So yeah, 15th of July. 15th of July, still a month. It's 2 years.
Trust me, it's going to be a little longer until you meet them.
Okay. Yeah. Last time somebody teased me this much, they got divorced. Anyway.
Oh my God!
That escalated quickly, but there we go.
Are you breaking up with me? You can't.
With the conversation that we
yet.
had
Not
before.
yet.
Anyway. No. Anyway, moving on. So, when that launch happened, back to professionalism, did you see that smoothly came back in there?
Yeah.
When the launch happens, can I ask what are we getting? Are we getting a launch week with on tabletop? Are we getting that kind of stuff that we get with Infinity? Because we've seen the fact that the man himself was editing a battle report the other day that had a distinctly Warcrow type sensation to it.
I really like that you referred to Wesley as the man himself, because he is the man.
He is. I was in his presence at the Interplanetario last year, and there were no words.
Were you there?
Yeah,
I was there too.
I know you were. See, this is.
Did
I can't say the thing. I can't say this without sounding creepy. I saw you when I was there. No, I saw you, and every time that I saw you, you were in the middle of demoing, and I do a lot of demoing, and there is nothing worse than being in the middle of that and somebody going, "Hi, I thought I'd come over and say hello." I'm doing a demo. Yeah, but it's really nice to meet you. It is great to meet you, and it'll be great in an hour.
Don't be. No, I'm super. I love meeting you.
I know.
Even if you see demoing, if you respectfully approach and say hi, I would say hi.
Oh, I know you would have done, but it was just every time that you were there. The only time, actually, the Interplanetary last year was part of what led to the problem of me picking up Warcrow. And it was because I'm a Warcore, actually, that the problem happened. Because we had, at the Interplanetario, there was the Warcore presentation, and then we had a bit of lunch. Yeah, then we had a bit of lunch, and then lots of people were sort of chatting, but I was quite chatted out, and I wandered outside, and the Warcrow tables were all on their own, and there was nobody there, and the miniatures were there. And I got 15 minutes of just taking some pictures, looking at the miniatures. And I actually, I sent Lilith a message as I walked away from the table with a picture of I think it was actually the War Surgeon. I just put underneath it, bugger. Because having said that I wouldn't get involved with the game, having spent that 15 minutes with the miniatures, like, we could have a problem here. This might be a slight challenge.
Again, can't apologise for that.
No,
that means we did our work.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. No, I did see that, but I didn't get the opportunity to say hello. I was with a group of Dutch guys, and I was kind of chatting with them and being with them, and then you were busy. But next time I will do. Not this year, obviously.
I was possibly attached to Jay Walker and Sarah Walker's hip because I love them, and they were there too. So back to the question. When you sent me the question, I was considering running it by our marketing team and asked them, hey, can I answer this? But since we've done it with basically all of our products, I think it would be very rare if we didn't. So yes, we are going to have some exclusive content, the launching week explaining and with videos, and we're going to have battle filmed with a demo because a lot of people are interested with on that. And Wesley is already working on that. He's shown some screenshots over Twitter and Instagram, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely that's going to happen. Yeah, you can expect as much normalcy, I would say, with the video question as per usual.
Okay, so the hype train will leave the station as usual.
True. I mean, the hype train is already a train covered in flames. It is. I told that to Corche and I said, I jump on this train. Like, listen, it's burning already. You saw it pass. It was in flames and you willingly decided to jump in.
Yeah, but it wasn't the train that was on fire. It was the people's wallets who were in the train. That's what was on fire. That's what was.
I don't trust me. That it was a train. It is a train.
Why not both?
As someone from the inside, it's always been a train. And then people who are also on fire jump.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't blame them. Yeah, I'm in there. It's a bit toasty, but we'll be fine, I'm sure. So I have moving on from there. The release. We've seen our fantastic Ice Bear friend today.
Ice baby.
It's just so...
I love him.
It's an inappropriately cool miniature. That's the
It
only way I
is.
can describe it. It's obviously
And
it's doing the
also,
rounds.
because we love our pop culture references,
Mm-hmm.
because we're products and children of pop culture, whether we like it or not.
Indeed.
And when the art department shared with us the first concept of Ice Bear, designed by Alberto Val, who is also from the development team,
Mm-hmm.
I said, I love it. I really like how you gave him the signature ponytail by Ariana Grande. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh wow, you're right. Like it is the signature ponytail by Ariana Grande." And I loved it because, if anything, Alberto is a person that embraces everything. It's
Yeah.
not like, ooh, Ariana Grande, ooh, brother, ooh. No, it would be like, yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
he looks so cool. So with his big,
Oh,
lustrous
it's
white mane and the ponytail, it's incredible.
slightly jealous
It's
of his
incredible.
fluff. It's very impressive. It is very. I
And
will
all the
now be
details.
seeing
I
that.
invite the travelers to get lost in the details of the picture, the torques, all the Varang jewelry pieces, the weapon, the hand, I don't know if we could call it a kilt, because it's definitely not a kilt, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Um, it is
Um,
wonderful. I've had him in my hand. Oof,
hmm.
solid material. I promised when we did the Adepticon seminar that you would love the exclusive miniature. I think we've delivered. I
I would
think
say so. I would say
it
so.
is my very biased opinion, but I think
No,
so.
no, I'd go with that. I've been looking at like the silhouette of everything because we've seen some like silhouettes of the exclusive miniature coming within the set. Like, okay, what could that be? Could that be? I was thinking some type of very cross dwarf for the hegemony or something like that. Not expecting an ice bear. Was not quite.
I was very surprised, with when we launched the rules to be downloaded for free.
Hmm.
Ice Bear is on the rulebook, and he even got shared in multiple Discord servers, as in, oh, look at this cool thing. Oh, I love this drawing, blah blah. Oh, I wonder who this person is. And us, he had to say a bit, we're like,
Yeah, but we,
no
we
one did the connection. No one made a connection. No one. We thought once the rulebook was out, it was just we're really surprised. No one's gonna be surprised by this. It's quite evident that these silhouette matches perfectly this drawing.
but you guys have got this great habit with Warcrow at the moment of it's very much like, well, it makes the Da Vinci Code look like colouring by numbers sometimes, because you bring something at you hint something, you tease something, and you're like, but obviously it was this, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, well, obviously now.
Oh
Now that you've
yeah.
said that,
Fair
yes,
though.
and you knew that when it happened, and you knew that when you said the little thunderstruck
Yeah.
ACDC, a hammer wielding knight. I mean, yes, but
Oh,
also then
thank you.
again, no.
I know. Yeah. Apologies for that.
Not at all. Not at all. It keeps everyone guessing, keeps us chatting, um, keeps the hype train moving forward, which is fantastic, and we love it greatly. Um, so he's Northern Tribes. He's Varank.
He is the leader. He's the other
He's a
leader
high
of the Northern
command.
Tribes. Yeah.
He's high command.
Yeah, he is. See, this is
So
something exclusive because you haven't seen
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
profile
yeah. No,
yet.
no,
And I
absolutely.
told you.
Yeah,
You're
no, I appreciate
welcome.
that. I appreciate that. I guess the profile's in the box. Are we gonna see the profile during the week, or are we gonna see that before the week
I
of
don't.
release?
I truthfully don't know. I mean, you would see it during the week with the videos and stuff, but
Mhm.
I don't know if we would show it before that, because I'm not in charge of selecting what gets shown. And like a lot of people, sorry, Hydra, would you move a bit? I'm talking to a travelers here. And like a lot of people might think, I am but the messenger. I by no means choose what is said, in what order the nations are introduced, and so on. Because a lot of people were like, oh, they're having to science because Hope was telling them to have the science next. No, it came as big as much a surprise for me as it did for you. So I am, you truly believe, and you honor me, you truly believe I'm in charge of anything.
We all know. Look, we all know. You do Warcrow. Carlos does Infinity.
Yeah,
That is the structure of the company. You are
the
the
ambassadoring thing.
that
Yeah,
more
I
God
ambassador.
Dalai Lama of Warcrow right there. That's you.
But I don't choose what is to be shown next. I am told what is going to be shown next, and
Yeah.
I make my appearance there. That's
So,
it.
so does no, I'm not going to ask that because I know I'm not going to answer. I was going to ask whether he's similar in his function to Alborg, but the other way round. So he enables Varang
I'm
and
not going to tell
orcs.
you.
Why not? It's just a
I'm not
simple
going to tell you.
question. You could just yes, no.
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 Here you have it. No.
I feel like what I should do when I edit this video is have a little counter at the top corner of like no's. Ding.
Oh yes, please do. Please do. Oh,
How many
please
no's can we get?
do. Oh, please do.
We're going for a record. Cool. So another thing we've been asked, it's been asked a lot, it's been discussed around, and people have pushed backwards and forwards on. Are we going to see two things for Warcrow? One, tournament. Are we going to be getting tournament play a la ITS? Ooh. This is exciting.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was like the second one coming.
And the second one?
So definitely, we love our organized play. We love our competitive division, and yes, it is going to be launched. About when? I have no idea because we're working on that. Because I don't know if I mentioned this in previous interviews. I might have. So sorry if this is all new to you, but in case this is the first time you wondered about how a competitive division for a game is designed. First, you work with the core rules for standard play, and then you move to competitive. Because even if they look similar, sometimes there are little points where they differ, and you need to work on them thoroughly because you want a competitive system that is consistent and holds itself separately from just a standard, casual fun and giggles game. So definitely we're going to have our Warcrow competitive a la ITS, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
We love doing that. You guys love doing that. So yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, I truthfully don't know when.
Yeah.
I know we're working on it. I can
But
guarantee you, like as we speaking, the development team, well, not me because I'm here, but the development team is working on the competitive dimension of Warcrow, and we're very excited about that. It's going to be fun.
Yep. It's because that's really important. Some of the
So yes,
some of the guys that I've spoken to are kind of waiting on whether it was going competitive or not because they want to take it that far. So it's cool.
Yeah, they will be able to, but in the future, as in there's not going to be a competitive Warcrow dimension by the end of August, for example. I can tell you it's not going to be by the end of August or by launching. So
okay, by end of September, fantastic. Heard it here first, people.
I didn't say that. You didn't. Well, I don't know if you're there. But you're there on my screen, so
Yeah, we're anyway, appropriate behaviour. Cool. So, tournament competitive scene confirmed. Will we also be seeing narrative events like we see with Infinity?
So, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, are you talking to a narrative designer? I love narrative. We already just. I know you love confirmation, but you also love what ifing. What ifing is your favorite activity, and I condone and I endorse this behavior. But I'm saying this because we already have a narrative campaign to be played in our very first box of the project.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, narrative is important to us.
Yep.
I love writing. I love writing Warcrow, and I love living Easter eggs, like sprinkling little references here and there. So yes, you're going to have narrative events. Most certainly. I mean, whenever you think, oh, is this game going to follow the footsteps of Infinity? You can answer yourself by, wondering, or maybe, since this is proven to be very popular and engaging with the communities, they might want to do the same as with the new Warcrow communities. So, of course, this is not me guaranteeing that everything that's been done for Infinity will be done for Warcrow because they're different IPs, different games, different systems.
Yeah.
But if something works, why not? I mean, it's the same when we ask, oh, we're going to have an RPG for Warcraft. We're going to have comics. Are we going to have novels? Are we going to have animated Disney films? I want everything.
We want yes, everything. Now.
We want to do everything. Now, only the future will tell us if that is actually something reasonable we can do or just
I
Always.
guess a lot of that's going to come down to how many players we get,
Mhm.
how much the community engages. Because I guess the more we love Warcrow, the more you're going to give it to us.
Yep.
So
So you have one job. Love Warcraft. We
love Warcrow,
curate. I
buy it
have to
all.
say, it's not even about the buying thing. There's a lot of people already passionate about Warcraft, and that is very endearing to me because this is the first time I launch a game with my name on the rulebook, being like, "Haha, look at all my maven." It
Seriously,
would be like
Jordan.
the meme from Joey from Friends, where like, um, and there's a lot of people already, covering on YouTube videos, doing podcasts, interviews, playing at home with just the rules downloaded from the official website. Thank you. Thank you. In all honesty, that is gasoline for me to work. It's incredible the response and the amazing embracement we have from the community.
Yeah,
Because that doesn't exist. There is not a Warcraft community. I mean, there is now, but you get me. There's not a game that's created a community because the game's not here yet.
yeah.
However, there you guys are. That is incredible from the game designer perspective, from the creator's perspective. Thank you.
I have to say, it's been really impressive to watch from the moment that Adventures was announced, and people were kind of like, okay, here's a thing. We'd heard of Warcrow before, because obviously that's a name from the past of the company. It's coming back, okay. It's fantasy, right. It's a dungeon crawler, right. And there's a war game, okay. And then, yeah, seeing the way the community's embraced it, but I think that's also because you guys are pushing a lot of stuff out towards us and going, look, isn't this cool? And we're wargamers, so the answer is
Look at
yes, it
that.
is. It's an ice bear. How did you not know it was coming? Um, but yeah, no, it's been really great to see. Actually, it's been really lovely to see, and for a new IP, even though Corvus Belli does engender a lot of love, that is going to be me getting accused of being employed by Corvus Belli again, because that's
Okay.
happened before. I've been told you're just so pro Corvus Belli. No, that doesn't mean I'm employed by them. It just means I like the company. Shut up. Anyway, it's been nice to see you guys pushing it out in such a way and getting such a good response. But yeah, your people love you. It's been great. It's been
We know and we appreciate it.
good. Which is nice to have. Other companies, we're not naming names, take for granted their position, and it shows. It's a lot of companies take that kind of loyalty and abuse it. It's nice to see you guys not. So thank
Yeah,
you for that.
I think I understand what you mean, but at least for me, it's just like, well, thank you. Like, oh,
You like my stuff? Cool. So we're going to move on now to a little bit about development and stuff like that. Some bits and pieces. Here's a left field one. What are for you the major themes and ideas behind Warcrow? What is the overarching concepts? What are the main ideas behind it?
game mechanic wise,
Game
I'm
mechanic
guessing.
wise, lore, feel, everything.
Okay, so I would say, and this is personal, mind that this is a personal.
Yeah.
Possibly, if you ask another developer, they would highlight
I'd
another idea,
expect
the
it to be different.
concept. Yeah. To me, approachable is one thing that was key from the moment I started working on it. This is a game, I've said this from the very beginning of my my recruitment. I want everyone to be able to play this game. Does this mean enforcing everyone to do that? No, but should someone consider playing Warcraft, there shall be barriers for them. They wouldn't find any obstacles or anything refraining them from playing. Like it's I want the game to me it's approachability, and I have no idea that's a word in English.
Is
It's
now.
approach. Oh no. The approachable element of the game for me is key
Yeah.
because again, I every developer has a set of rules or creed they work and stand by. One of them, one of my mantras is simple is beauty. Again, because something simple does not equal something boring. Something simple is not something not elaborated, because on often will look simple on the outside.
Yeah.
It's because it's so polished and worked and refined that all the obstacles have been removed,
Hmm.
and then you only get the final piece, which might be this little sphere, just a little, yeah,
Little
just
ball of
like a
perfection.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not perfection, because perfection only belongs to the architect, but you know what I mean.
There's that to be said for it. Yeah.
And I really like the lore. I mean, I'm a very big fantasy head. I've been reading fantasy since I could read by myself, and when I couldn't, I had someone read fantasy to me. And I like fantasy products. I'm not gonna hide, and I also like that it has so to say an army for everyone. Because if you want the clean classic fantasy look, you have Theodom. If you want elves with a twist, you have a CNN. You have your dwarves. You have orcs and also the Varang, but even though the Varang are a new race, you have the orcs. If you are more, if that's your Cooper, you have a bit of grim dark with science. I love me green dark. Oh yeah, but also I love the concept of the hegemony. And if
Hmm.
there's something I would highlight of the hegemony, they love how mixed they are, and they truthfully are. I mean, it's everyone's living in
Yes,
because
integrated
I've
society.
seen because I've seen that we tend to separate in fantasy nations by races.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unlikely, but to each their own, you know? It's not a reflection of our real world. But again, it's fantasy. We can allow ourselves some creativity. Um, and back to the mechanics, I really like symbols. I think they offer a myriad of possibilities from the mechanic perspective. I I absolutely adore the turn tracker and the little events and the magic spells. It's the most useful tool we've conveyed for Warcrow the Wargame. I think is distinct enough, so it gives
Hmm.
it a little personality. It's fun to use. It makes the game variable, and it offers, I insist, so many possibilities. You're not going to realize that until you've played a good amount of scenarios and see how they can vary. And I'm just very passionate about my work. I think overall we've done a good job, and I am proud of what we've accomplished. Is it perfect? Of course not. We're finding it again. We're finding mistakes and things to polish every single day. Well, that's my job, and
Besides, we don't want perfect. Perfect is
yeah,
boring.
perfect
It's,
is for the architects. Only them.
well, indeed, there is that to be
Only
said.
only them.
It's
um,
the turn tracker you mentioned is really interesting actually because what I'm finding is that people who are board gaming war gamers, so
mhm.
board gamers first, they get it. That the turn tracker, yep, got it, perfect, no problems. The people who are war gamers who also play board games are like, what does it do? What? How does that
Yeah.
work? What is it? And there's that really distinct sort of
Yeah.
break down the middle. And I've had several people that have sort of approached me and said, "Could you do a video on what the turn tracker does and why we should use it and how does it work?" And I don't understand. It'll be fine. We'll get through this together. The video is coming. It will be great. As soon as I have one in my paws, we will be doing a little video. Great. But it's an interesting mechanic. It adds a different approach, and I think it's things like that make it more accessible. That's the word,
Yeah.
accessibility. That make it easier to engage with. It's a nice tactile thing. It's not an intimidating thing. It's quite a okay. I get this. I push the thing, and then the thing happens. Amazing. Um, so I'm intrigued to see how that plays. I am very intrigued to see how that plays. Actually,
I think it's aside from the no one gets left behind mechanic, which I mentioned in every interview, the turn tracker would be close second favorite to my heart. And I think I am committing a crime here because I'm taking it for granted. But the models, though, the art, the miniatures are gorgeous. And I'm not saying this because we made them here. They truly are stunning. I mean, the Wu Surgeon, she's a beautiful model. The Wise Man is fantastic, and so many others you still have not seen. But if we can, if we address things you've seen, the science though, the puppeteer is a work of perfection. She's gorgeous, she's stunning, she's poised, she's elegant, she's terrifying at the same time.
Lola.
Lolita,
Mm.
Lola is wonderful if you like the kind of monster, but if that's not really your thing, you
What's
have
wrong
a
with you if you don't
mouthful.
like it?
There's a lot of people who don't like this mix, like meat-mash monster parts, and I understand that. It's an acquired taste. You will
See,
grow into that. Don't worry,
the
we've all been there.
Thing, Mr. Carpenter's Thing. As soon as I saw that, I was like, damn it, I'm in.
Is that the Morma? Is the big one with the
That and Lola as well. Although,
oh Lola?
see, Lola reminds me of another film, and I don't know
Which
how
one?
how how you're going to take it, but like with the big mouth and all the rest of it, when I saw her for the first time, I was like, Beetlejuice. Do you know what I mean? When they pull the face and then they have the teeth.
Oh,
That
oh,
brought me straight back to
okay,
that point in the film, and I was like,
okay. I
I'm
can
in for
see
that
that.
too. I'm in for that too. The aesthetic of the Thing, a little bit of Beetlejuice in there, even though it shouldn't be. I was just like,
No, why
yes,
not? I mean, I'm taking it. Yeah,
yes.
sure.
I just love that sort of look and that aesthetic, and yeah, I get that it's not for everybody. It's that kind of body
Yeah.
horror. Yeah,
But now you've seen all the models from Feudum, from the CNN. Also, you've seen things from Mount Haven. Very incredibly beautiful and detailed miniatures,
yeah,
and I think the aesthetic part for me is very important when considering buying at least trying a product. I am a big video game fan. I play a lot, a wee bit too much than I should. But for example, with calls
understand
being
that.
like the first thing that calls me out in a video game is the aesthetics. Do I like how is its
Yeah,
art is put together? And I'm one of the weirdos that enjoys the art from Bloodborne. Well, because I like the grim dark situation, but also all the much more cleaner games like Spiritfarer, Hollow Knight. They
yeah.
have these, much more beautiful Kotesh Core Studio Ghibli or Ghibli. How do you pronounce it in English? I say Ghibli in Spanish, but I think you guys say Ghibli.
No, I think it's
Um,
Ghibli. It's I
yeah.
think Ghibli is a mispronunciation, and some
Um,
people do.
so yeah, aesthetics are super important for me, and Warcrow is top aesthetics.
It is the
Even if you don't like the game, I haven't seen a comment saying, "Oh, this miniature is hideous." Maybe
no,
about Lola and the Morma, but I understand. Yeah,
yeah,
they're
but that's
not
not
meant
a.
to be
It's an
pretty.
ugly miniature. It's the aesthetic is not
Yeah, it's not my thing. Yeah.
tasteful. No, no, I know what you mean, and it's one of the few systems that I've ever interacted with where people have seen the miniatures and be like, "Sorry, what's that? What is that? Because I need
Yeah.
that." A very good friend of mine today said, "You know what? I'm probably not going to play the game because I don't have time, but I do need to buy the miniatures."
Aw,
Okay,
thank you.
that's fair enough. We don't all have time to do all the games, so I can completely relate to that one. So awesome.
Oh,
Okay.
and like lastly, connecting to the question, the narrative part. I love narrative. I mean, my heart lives permanently in Hawthorne Point. To me, I mean, I always say this. I'm very intense about it. I apologize. But Warcraft Adventures has such a special place in my heart. And I know abuse this sentence. People tend to not believe me. I get it. But I mean, I have a big heart. So there's room for everyone in there. For Hawthorne Point is its beating core. At the very bottom, like the very core of my heart, there is a blue butterfly, blue and white, not just blue and white butterfly. There, just staying there as a reminder that everything started for me in Hawthorne Point. So the narrative, that the fact that everything is connected to a law we've tailored and constructed so carefully and with so much effort, because we have Silvia and Rodrigo, the two authors. We have our development team, we have our art team, and also the artists outside from Corvus Belli working with us, and everyone's involved, and we've created with such delicacy and care this world that is so much alive than perhaps anyone could fathom. So it's not this. I still have to find one element in Warcraft that is put out there just because. There's always a reason. There's
Yeah, yeah.
always a reason, and I love that because as a fantasy consumer, I hate it when the answer for something is a wizard did it. I don't need a thorough chemical, physical explanation of these, but at least tell me a
There's got to be a
reason
why.
for.
There's got to be a
Yeah,
why.
even though the why is because it's so cool.
Yeah, but that's a
I buy
legitimate
it.
reason. I'm there for
Yeah.
it's cool. Very much so. So, sidebar. Favorite fantasy book that isn't written by Tolkien?
Oh, A Master of Gin by Jelly Clark. A Master of Gin by Jelly Clark, the God Killer trilogy by Hannah Kanner, the Dauntless Bilogy plus Thorn, I think is the name is by Intisar Hanani. Seriously, anything. I love
All of
fantasy,
it.
so if you want to have like an external chat about fantasy books in our recommendation, I am absolutely down for it.
We should that should be something that should happen. We should have Hoopoe's book club.
Oh yes, please.
Hoopoe's book club monthly recommendations. We'll all get together and have a chat about it at the end of it. It'll be amazing. Um, fantastic. So, you're a huge fantasy consumer.
I am, unfortunately.
One bit of feedback that we've seen come through quite a lot is that some of the races within Warcrow are barely tropey. There's not these are things we've seen before. These are
Yeah,
not
like there's
new.
they're no original, we could say. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Very much unoriginal, yeah.
yeah. This
We
is
have
familiar
dwarves,
territory.
elves, orcs. Yeah.
Exactly. So, one, why, and two, how are they not the same? I mean, we talked a minute ago about hegemony being this melting pot of society. Because when I first saw them, I'll be honest, I looked at them and there's the bastards. Pardon my language, but there's the bastards. They're the ones that oppress everybody and they beat everybody up and they're a bit racist.
The true villain is a hegemony of embassy.
This is it, you know. And I saw Drago with this big long coat, and I was like, "No,
Imperialism.
there he is. There it is. I know. I've seen this one before." And then they're all cuddles and friendliness, and I was like, "Sorry."
I mean, they're fun. The hegemony of embassy is just fun to play.
They
Okay.
are, but it subverted what I expected because I was like, I've seen this before, and I hadn't. But so how have you differentiated them from normal, and why those races over fluffy koalas with, I don't know, that's Ewoks, isn't it? Anyway, but you know what I mean, something different.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing that needs to be mentioned is that this is a company that sells a product. Therefore, there's a lot of marketing studying what to sell and what to buy and what is likely to perform better or likely to perform worse. Of course, there's always a room for error, but one thing I want to emphasize is we don't do things just because. There's a study, there's research behind every decision we take. And tackling originality is a thing. Because first of all, up at this point, it's very strange and difficult to be original. Even if we thought we came up with a new race, meaning the Varang, and they're going to be blue-skinned, and they're going to have pointy ears and dark eye glows with the glowy blue stuff, and they're going to be so original, and they can shift into animals. There's always someone coming. Oh, is that a Goliath? Oh, is that a shapeshifter from Dungeons and Dragons? Is this that? Is this another that? So it's very, very tricky to be original, as in, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
And also from the product point of view, customers, even though they express the wish for originality, they're not likely to buy originality. And the proof is in the pudding. Our most popular nation is feudum. Knights, priestesses, people on horseback, you know, your classic Arthurian France of the 12th century. I love them. I really like them. I mean, I'm an art historian. I came from there.
This is your jam.
But this is surprising because on the one hand, you have all these people asking for originality or maybe suggesting, oh, could we see something different? But then these products do not perform as well. And
Yeah.
again, this is not me just saying things. There's a lot of, not it's just me, other companies, bigger companies than us have launched products that were very distinct and different. And they've not performed as good. And at the end of the day, we want our products to stand out and perform. Therefore, when tackling Warcrow, we conveyed we wanted something based on classic tropes, but reverted in some way. For example, the orcs. The orcs are traditional, brutal, brainless creatures that look thirsty and just advanced, and sometimes they can barely speak. It's just like animals.
Yeah.
Ours are not. ours have a very complex society, and even they're nomadic people, they have their traditions and beliefs, and they're very intelligent. Alborg is it's considered to be the most intelligent of the two leaders of the northern tribes. And same with the Varang. That does not clash with them being powerful warriors. You can be intelligent and strong. I mean, there's like
Yeah.
they're no opposing things. Or the elves, for example. We like our classy elves. You have the eye study. You know, people who take hours to get ready, people who study, the scholars, the library-bound creators, the magicians, your traditional spellcaster from a college of magic. But then you have the CNN. The CNN are wood elves that are literally one with their forest. They're not the Lothlorien kind of thing, not Rivendell kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're much more feral and bond with nature. And we have that. Why? Because we know that people love wood elves. They do. There is a massive fan base for wood elves out there. And same with dwarves, for example. We wanted our dwarves not to be the traditional, they're greedy, they don't like mixing with other races, they barely appear, they like to be recluded in their own fortresses. Obvious ones. These guys have a plan and they check the calendar. It's like, okay, guys, the jig is up. Come on, we're following the master plan, and and off they go. And they're very social, and they have commercial treaties with other nations, and they communicate and they craft things for they're not these gatekeepers of my things. They have their secrets. Who wouldn't? Meaning that they mastered the orichalcum paper folding. Who wouldn't?
So
But
cool.
and yeah, same with the humans and the Merchant Alliance and the science. So, but I understand it. I think the originality debate is one very enriching to have, because I would be very curious, and I always remember back in the day, Games Workshop launched an army of elves. Some of you may not know what these is, but Games Workshop back in the day launched an army of wood elves that were based on Mayan and Aztec cultures. I loved them. They were, wow, that was original. That was daring. What happened? It was a bloody disaster. It performed so poorly in the market. So
Off you go.
it went away. But it was original.
Yeah, people think they want new, but what they buy is what they know.
Definitely. And I understand why. I mean, you want to go to your comfort place. I get it. And also, we wanted to bring our originality via the gameplay and via the law and construction of our nations. So, yeah.
Plus,
Again, I wouldn't dare to say we're so original in Warcrow race-wise. No, we have elves, we have humans, we have dwarves. Yeah, with orcs. Gabarank.
But I'm gonna put a little caveat on the back of that, running the risk of a no, because I haven't had enough no's yet. But that's it for now, because I assume that Warcrow is not a game of 6 races. I assume that there will be more. In which case, there is space later for something weird and wonderful. Aztec-inspired elves. That sounds good to me. I think when you look at a lot of other systems these days, they come in with the familiar, and then over time evolve into the more exotic. When people are engaged with the narrative, when they've got the world and they're comfortable in it, it's time to branch out and see what else is out there.
Yeah, it is a risky movement company-wise, because you need to remember, again, we are a company and we're creating a product that we want to perform well.
Yeah.
So it's also a wee bit difficult to navigate, meaning, do we want to be original? Do we want to establish the basis then? But regarding the original, I think, to me, something very original, and I know I'm going to be contradicted. I know I'm going to be told otherwise in the comments. Well, actually, well, I mean, I know. I mean, I'm inviting you to put your comments down there. But to me, the hegemony of Embassy was original, because of the armors, because of the mixture of Eastern. It's not that often you see Eastern Europe inspiration getting the spotlight on.
Hmm.
It will be there, but like, occasionally. But in this case, we didn't go with the classic, much more medieval oriented, Western medieval oriented
Yeah, yeah.
armors and aesthetic. We did something different. And to me, the hegemony has its own historical originality. But again, I acknowledge how that could be because I'm an art historian and I like my references when I support them. Be like,
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. And that leads me on to the next logical question. Obviously, now we're talking about hegemony has its roots in Eastern Europe. Where do the other guys have their roots? Where are your inspirations for your different races? Where do they come from? As far as you were involved, obviously.
okay, so historically wise, you mean?
Yeah. Or pop
I
culture or
don't know
whatever.
how. Okay, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to answer this question because when I joined the company, the nations were already out in the world.
Okay.
So there was a solid work. I think there was at least definitely a year, possibly a wee more. The team had been working on the world, and the nations were pretty much outlined, and they knew. So I would say the northern tribes, the orcs, has something from the nomadic people of Central Asia, and I'm talking about the Mongols, the Scythian tribes, the Saka, and all the part. But that is only as an aesthetic component. If you look at the way they're dressed. Uh, and it's very much occasional, meaning it's not something thorough and consistent. Be like, oh, we need to have them, all of them in Mongol attire. No, 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 absolutely not. Then the Varang is the obvious. They are based in Norse tribes and Norse societies from the Scandinavian area and the Northern Europe. The Merchant Alliance is a cauldron of different things. I can tell you about one particular one. I had the beautiful chance to work on, which is the city of the Dome, that is based in Iran and in the Safavid dynasty from the early 16th century. And I loved it. This is the city Ismail comes from. And then we have the CNN pretty much based in this Celtic aesthetic, you know, but in a feral way, meaning like painted in their faces. They have basically a forest growing out of them. If you
So like
remember that
pits
art,
and woads
for
and that sort of thing.
example, with leaves and bushes intertwined with the fabric and the robes. Theodore is basically France in the 12th century, and they are very proud of that, and we endorse that. And then Mount Haven has this element of Japanese sort of style in their clothing. Because of course origami in our current planet Earth is connected to to the Far East, and especially with Japan and all the art of paper folding. So most of the garments, if you think of Biwa, not necessarily Sokka, but Biwa, is the spellcaster, has this garment that could remind of a kimono somehow,
Yep.
so that would be it. The science are pretty much everything because I
Smooshed.
can't reveal much. I'm sorry. I mean, I know what the bases are, but those are not to be revealed. That would be a big spoiler, and definitely you don't want it because it would ruin a lot of fun for you. And am I forgetting about someone? I think I covered all of them. This would be a much more interesting conversation to have with someone that had been in the process, has seen all the nations evolve. I'm sorry I cannot deliver it. I did the best I could.
You did a cracking job. That was a whole lot of insight, and that helped a lot.
Thank
Apart
you.
from about the science, which we need more of, and I'm happy with spoilers. Cool. So, which parts of Warcrow did you do? Where can we see your fingerprints specifically in the game? Which can we hold you responsible
I
for?
love this question because the answer is you can't. And I love that you can't because it speaks volumes of how we do things here. Warcraft is such is a result of such joint effort that it would be very tricky for us to point towards something as in that is me, because that is not what we want to achieve in here. It's difficult to tell, oh, I could point at some things. For example, what did you do as in you do? I named many characters from Warcraft Adventures. I mean, like I gave them a name. But I didn't do it on my own. I listed some names, I run them by my team, and we agreed on something.
Yeah.
Yes, in the end, the name I selected, like the game I proposed, was chosen. But that doesn't mean I named them. For example, I named Ismail or Idiavik or Cole the puppy, but that doesn't mean, oh, you did that. No, I suggested Cole, and the team liked Cole. My team leader, V, you know him from Discord,
Mhm.
he suggested Nida, and we went with Nida. So that is something I really, really like. You can't see it. You can't. And I love that because everything is such the homogeneity is as such because we worked all together in the same thing and we talk things and we nourish our ideas from the ideas of the other. And I mentioned this in other interviews. You need to be prepared to hear no
No.
an obscene amount of times, but that is not something bad. It's just part of the process. For example, these are my suggestions. We're going to have a meeting that we will run with a character's name. We're going to have a meeting to name this beautiful creature over here. He is an elf, a ranger, an archer, blah, blah, blah. And these are the list of names. What did you bring? Oh, I brought these, I brought these, I brought these. Or sometimes not all of us bring things, but it's like, hey, I've been thinking about that. These are my options. And then none of your options get picked. Is that bad? No, it's just,
It's the
okay.
process.
Or same with, oh, we're designing this character. These are the options the artist gave us for the hair, the hair color. Oh, I like pink. I like blue. I like black. I like red. And
Yeah.
in the end, your preference is not picked.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's the
it's
nature of the beast, isn't it?
yeah, it's just part of it. So I really enjoy telling people that you cannot tell one of us apart. Maybe we can because we know how we all act together. But I can tell you things I'm in charge of. That doesn't mean it's my own doing. It is never my own doing, and I
No.
love it because it would be a wee dangerous if it was my own doing. If we given a free like, I want to do this, but I want to do it on my own. That is very dangerous. Teamwork is key when
Yeah.
you're designing, and I'm not talking about teamwork within the same team members, as in the development team with all the departments, the art department, the production department, marketing department, design department, art, all of them. We need to be able to work together. And yeah, if you wanted to know, yes, I created multiple NPCs for Hawthorne Point. Again, after telling my peeps, hey, I thought of these. What do you guys think? We love it. Go on. Oh no, please think of something else. Okay, my life.
It's where like writing on my own because I only have to deal with
Yeah.
myself. I don't like that one. Delete it. Um,
Yeah. You
awesome.
can be even worse to yourself than your teammates will be.
Yep.
Like it happened to me while writing Warcrow Adventures because yeah, it was in charge of typing the words, and I would be like, oh my god, I hate this. And my editor in Spanish, Silvia, she's a gem and she's delightful to work with. If you see me enthusiastic and bubbly, she is the best version of it. She's
Oh dear
wonderful.
Lord.
And she would be like, what are you talking about? I love it. And she's capable of bringing out the strong points of basically anything. Even if when you don't see it, it's like, oh no, but yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
that's not awful.
yeah, I guess it was quite nice. Oh, thank you.
A
And then
good
you
editor is
follow.
a rare beast. It has to be said.
Oh, she's adorable. I want to keep her in my life forever for everything. Even if I say in a year I'm not working for Corvus Belli, I'm taking her with me.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah,
Clear the desk, stick her on your back. There we
yeah.
go. Does she know that, or is that just going to be a surprise that happens on the
Oh,
day?
she does know that. I consistently tell her how much I adore her, and when she listens to the interview, is like, "Aw." She's so lovely, Joe. Like so genuinely lovely. I adore her.
Fantastic stuff. Cool. Um, right. So I'm going to move on to some questions from the Dutch community.
Oh yes. Hello, Dutch community. How do you say hello in Dutch?
Hoi.
Hoi. Oh, I got that. Hoi. Now we need a character named Hoy in
Hoy.
Warcrow. Hoy!
You should have more Dutch people. There's not enough Dutch people represented in fantasy. This is a thing that should
Oh,
happen.
my thesis supervisor, she was Dutch.
Yeah, they get everywhere, but you
Yeah.
never see them. It's like Lee Bardugo did Six of Crows, which is a YA fantasy, and that was set in
Oh yeah, I know Six of Crows.
that is based around like an Amsterdam type place. It's based on Amsterdam.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what it's called, Ketterdam. And they eat at one point.
I'm making a note to my phone like,
yeah.
I need to read Six of Crows.
So if you read that, there's a point where one of them gets offered something called stompot, which is a Dutch dish. So it's something that you get over here, like with potatoes and I'm going to get shot for this because I'm going to get it wrong, but like with vegetables and potatoes and sausages matched together, and it's
that sounds amazing.
It's you eat it and you have eaten for the rest of the day. It sticks to your ribs. And you don't. It's good stuff. It's not necessarily the most exciting thing in the world, but you have eaten, and eating has been achieved.
Okay, see, making another note. I need to go to eat. What was the name again?
Stompot.
Okay.
Yeah. If you
and
come to
Hydra is taking me to eat.
You are more than welcome.
Oh, if you offer me food, my loyalty towards you is 100% guaranteed.
I can offer you not just food. I can offer you Yorkshire tea and cheese shops. We have entire shops of cheese.
And we are going to go. You think I'm not showing it for privacy reasons, but you think I'm joking, and we're going.
Come and I tell you what, when you come, we will have a fun game of Warcrow together. Not a development game, and just we will funsies. Eat cheese. And we will eat cheese. The city that I live in has its own specific cheese as well, which is
Do you live in phenomenal.
No comment. Not officially, but it's just phenomenal, and that with a good dose of English tea, it will be a beautiful day.
It sounds like a dream.
Then we'll throw dice. It'll be great. So anyway, Dutch community.
Yes.
The gang that is the questions they came out with. So we know that there are some bigger models coming for the good guys, for Scions, like Lola. Are we going to see miniatures of a similar sort of size for other factions, or is that? I'm not going to ask what because I don't want another no.
I mean, you can't have the what, but definitely 60mm base miniatures are going to be a thing in Warcrow, not just for the Scions.
60 mil. Okay, so horses.
I can't do the inches conversion. How much is 60
millimeters? You don't convert that. You don't. Base sizes stay in millimeters. It's only when we come to measure important things like distances that we use realistic distances like inches and feet.
Okay. You're the Brit.
I love inches in wargaming, but then for everything else, it's kilometers and centimeters and meters. But then if you
definitely 60mm base creatures, yes.
Horses for feudum. We're going to have knights. We've got to. They've got to be there. Got to be there. It's going to be another problem. We'll deal with that one later. Okay, cool. So bigger miniatures coming, confirmed. Mm-hmm. I'm going for a no on this one. Can we get a hint of the arrival time for the next battle box, which tells you everything you need to know about Wargamers? We haven't got the first battle box. We can't even order it yet.
Want the second
but when's the next one coming? I'm guessing. I'm gonna make a statement from what you said earlier.
Okay.
You said we're following an Infinity-esque trail when it comes to competitive play and when it comes to narrative play. So I'm guessing we're following it with release schedule, which would mean we'll get an annual 2-player battle box coming out for Warcrow.
I have no idea. Because again, it's not me who decides.
Cool.
No, I am not the one who decides, and also I'm not in contact with the people who decide. Meaning, I could not even dare to grasp the information or get the information from them, because I have no idea. To travelers, again, you all know me, you humble me. I am just a developer.
Well, I'll tell you what,
I
if you
type
do
in
find out,
spreadsheets and, you know,
if you can find out by the time you get over, there's more cheese in it for you. That's all I'm going to say. More cheese.
I will work hard.
And I promise I won't tell anyone else. Right. So
Probably.
this was an interesting one and not one I entirely agree with, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When it came to the core engine for Warcrow, this guy feels you've gone more in an Aristea direction as an engine than an Infinity direction because of the custom dice and some of the elements.
Uh-huh.
Why? Why that direction and not this direction?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay, cool.
No, because when I came, the basis of the game were established, but I didn't get to work in something as cool as like the base system that was already made. I mean, I came to a project that already knew I was using custom dice with the same symbols and similar symbols to Aristea. So I don't know the reasoning behind that. I had to learn all the system, and I learned to play, and I just brought everything in.
Cool.
But I could not tell you why, because I was not there this early. I can tell you about the advantages of it, because we like switches. I love switches.
Yeah, agreed.
See, someone here with me is nodding. You do love switches too. And we wanted something fast-paced, quick, and for that, the unit mechanic works better. So if you've seen the movement, either you've seen the rules, or if you check the video we have in movement, everything's very much like
Bum bum bum. Yeah.
we want things to be happening constantly and quick, and we don't want them to, because we know wargaming entails a lot of analysis and thought. So you should be absolutely entitled to do that, sure. But when you actually choose to take action,
Bump. Yeah.
yeah, you make your decision, and everything just like dominoes itself into action. Is that English?
Yeah, no. It works.
No,
I'm with you.
Um,
I'm with you.
so
We'll allow it.
So that for that, I don't know how much I would dare to say like Aristea mechanics, because I've played Aristea and I played Warcrow.
Yeah.
They're really not that. I mean, I understand the symbols on the switches are something like I know this, but they're
Yeah.
not really the same game, and I wouldn't compare them mechanic wise. But I understand how some things would be much more familiar to you if you played Aristea than if you played Infinity.
Yeah, I mean, I get it from the perspective of the dice and the switch concept, the symbols on the dice. I get that bit with Aristea,
And
but then
like the concept of having the initiative, and although it works the opposite
Absolutely. But then I see skills, short skills, effectively long
yeah,
skills,
that
and then
part I acknowledge is much more closer to Aristea than it is to Infinity. But again, maybe because I've been inside so much, I don't see it.
yeah, I can see the DNA when I read the rulebook. The DNA of
Yeah.
Infinity is there, and I can
Yeah.
see elements of the DNA of Aristea, but much less. There are some very visible bits like the dice, but even then it's D8
and the
or
switches,
D6.
and again the skills. Yeah.
But then the skills, that says to me more Infinity. 2 short skills,
Is
1
it?
long skill. Yeah. So when you with
Yeah,
Infinity,
I mean, I
you know?
thought you were talking about the printer skills, like having
No.
a
Sorry,
series
I mean,
of printer skills on the profile. Okay, yeah, I can see. Oh, then I can understand.
yeah, being able to move plus something else,
Sure.
Infinity.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Infinity all day long, or do one long thing, Infinity all day long.
Yeah.
So that
I mean, we don't deny where we came from.
you don't need to. I don't.
Yeah.
I said it in my rules video. It's like I look at this and I see so many familiar rules. There are elements of Star Wars Legion there for me. There are elements of Warhammer. There are elements of Infinity and Aristea. And for me personally, they're the bits I like. It's like the printed profile cards. I was like, it's one thing that I love about Legion. I have my card on the table, and I'm there, and I can see everything I need to do, and away I go. With Infinity, I have my printed army list, and I'm turn it over. There's my weapon, and I'm back and forth, and it's a little bit more fiddly, it's a little bit more complicated. That card system means I'm doing a thing with the thing and I roll the dice. Thank you. Because I'm doing it so often, this speeds up the process, and that just, hell yes. More time playing, less time looking up. Thank you. You're very clever people. Well done.
Thank you. I will pass that compliment to the team.
And the clap, please. It's a little golf clap for them. So yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it, but interesting. Thank you for that. And this one came today, and I want to see whether you can guess where this person comes down on which side of the battle box they come down on.
Okay.
Having seen the Ice Bear, will Hegemony be getting something equivalent? If so, when? I mean, I'm guessing not, because he's a very Varank thing. Let's be honest. I don't see an Ice Bear turning up in Hegemony, much as they are an inclusive and all get together and cuddle and kumbaya, but they're not.
I understand, yeah.
So will there be something equivalent coming for the Hegemony dudes?
Okay, so Ice Bear is an exclusive miniature, and yes, he's for the Northern Tribes. I don't know, meaning definitely there will be exclusive content for the armies and for the Hegemony. I don't know if something of the sorts, meaning I don't know if they're referring to the aesthetic of it, as in like a monstrous, huge beast.
A big monstery thing, I think, is what they're after.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know something's been planned for the Hegemony, but I in the looks of Ice Bear, meaning like big, monstrous creature, not really, because it doesn't match because it doesn't match the aesthetic of the Hegemony. I mean, the Hegemony doesn't even use war heads or war animals. So profile-wise, though, as we would get something as potent, as strong, another high command, I would say potentially. There's so many things planned out that my brain is now listing all of them back memory, and it's like, yeah, I can see that happening. Why not?
If you just want to speak them out, just put them out in the air. It's easier to do it verbally than it is to do it in your head, I find. Oh no. They will let anyone in on these videos these days, won't they?
The man, the
legend.
The Bostria.
He's a beautiful man, isn't he? He is a beautiful looking man.
Oh, we love him. We do love our Carlos Bostria.
Legend.
If you don't have one, be sure to include a Carlos Bostria in your life.
To be honest, the fact that he's now in one of my videos, that is...
You do have one. I was talking to the travelers. I was like,
right.
I know you have one.
I have one now. That's bucket list right there. Amazing. Suddenly Bostria. Cool. Okay, fair enough. So something coming, but we don't know when and what. Maybe not the same size, but something equally cool. This is good. Right.
I mean, profile-wise, as powerful ones.
Yes. Yeah. Not necessarily scaled.
We don't closing any doors or windows, so for sure.
Maybe. It depends.
Perhaps.
Possibly. If we're good Hegemony players, we can get new stuff. I get it. Cool. Right. Last few questions on this epic. I don't want to look at how long we've been talking. A while. And this is all going out in one video as well, so I hope whoever is watching this has bought snacks, toilet breaks, essentially. Yeah, we're all out of tea. I'm running low on drinks.
You could put a disclaimer before start.
I think I'm going to have to.
Mind you, this is a long video.
But I'm going to be a really, really, really nasty YouTubey person and not put any chapters in the video. It's just going to be one long stream. Intro, 30 seconds long video. Goodbye. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be brilliant. So, last few questions. Are you ready? From the miniatures that we've seen, the poor people of the internet who haven't got all of your insider knowledge because you won't let us know because you're cruel and it's very sad. We do nightly. We have support groups and everything. Of the stuff that we've seen so far, which of those miniatures is your personal favourite so far?
Are we including the science because you've seen them?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we are including the red caps because you've seen them, and Warcrow Adventures miniatures.
Of course.
Because you've seen them.
Yep.
So this is going to be difficult because I love many miniatures from Corvus Belli, but Model-wise, are we talking purely aesthetic entity?
100% looks.
Oof. I. My heart is tied between 3. Can I say those 3?
Please.
Okay, so I would say the wise man. Finesse, class, elegance. Then the puppeteer from the science. She's everything.
Oof.
She queen, she titan, she legend. And then the anointed by the science. The anointed to me is exactly what I imagine them to be. Exactly. Like, it's like the author took the idea from our brains, and because whenever you concepting out a character, you don't have any visuals or anything, but you're working with, brain memory and things you can convey. When I saw that, like the finished art and model, I thought this was absolutely it. This one. It's perfect. Yeah, the anointed. It's whoa, it's too much.
That's the one.
They are too much. And oh,
Neat. Okay, cool. So the follow-up question to that, possibly harder. From the minis that we've not seen, are those 3 still your top favourite minis? Or does something... doesn't even hesitate.
to
Doesn't
be
even
fair,
hesitate.
the anointed stays there.
Yeah,
The
still top
anointed
3.
does stay there. Yeah, it's like, to me, it would be in top 3. However, because the thing is, okay, I'm going to be a wee bit more serious. We're constantly producing new things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult for me to establish where the things you've not seen end. Because there's us from today. There's a number of miniatures I've seen
Yeah.
that you haven't. But I know more things are being worked on that I haven't yet seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how these are going to be. But definitely, the tribes have some wicked models. The CNN
Oh.
and my god, the science, the future science. It's just, I mean, they're my army for one reason. So
Yes, Scions, CNN, those, and Hegemony, those are my 3 northern tribes.
which one? The hegemony, science, and CNN.
Yeah, those 3 are... Those are where I'm starting.
And then northern tribes, because you have a bear.
Apparently today, that was a new addition, which is exciting. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's probably best you just ship one of each box to me as they come in and just send me an invoice. It's just going to save time.
Okay, will do.
It's probably for the best. Cool, okay, that's exciting. Also, can you... I know you're going to say no, but what is a Gale Falchion? Have you seen a Gale Falchion yet? Is it everything that it sounds like and so much more?
I can tell you a few bits.
Please.
The Gale Falchion, I study elves.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
And by the first Fire Herald profile, they're twins.
Yep.
Yeah, the first Fire Herald will be one twin, the Gale Falchion with Yola.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I can tell you've already seen a Gale Falchion. Okay, I was going to tell you who that is, but I want to make you a game.
Oh no.
You've already seen him. And you've seen his twin too. And they're quite famous. I mean, there's not like a side thing. No. They're like protagonists we're talking about level.
Protagonist level.
You've seen them.
In Adventures.
Maybe not the standard Gale Falchion.
So Adventures.
Or you've seen them.
Right.
Can you tell me who this creature is?
No, not right now. My brain is mush. No, I can't.
Don't worry, you get there.
I will get there. That's going to be at 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting bolt upright and going, it's... So for all the people that are screaming at the screen right now, comments below, tell me how much of an idiot I am and who I should be saying to Hoopoe right now. That would
You
be
know a lot of
fantastic.
things ready. Twin, I study elf,
Okay.
crystal clear, and you've seen him,
Yeah, I have seen him.
and not like as an obscure thing
Very front and
screenshot
centre.
on Discord. No, you've seen it from us. Is it like, ha?
Gotcha. Okay. I need to go back through my notes. Okay, cool. That's good. That was going to answer that question because that's been killing me because that is the coolest named.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
So
It is
nice.
beautiful.
So nice. So nice. Do you know what? I think on that question, on finding out that we know who the Gale Falchion is, I just need to go back and look. I'm going to thank you for your epic amount of time spent with me today. It's been over 2 hours. We've been chatting.
Hopefully the video won't be over 2 hours. Thank you for inviting me. I've had the best time, and say hello to the Dutch community. Say hi to the Dutch community from me. And yeah, thank you for your interest in our game. We would like to extend our gratitude towards you as a creator, to all the fellow creators that take time in, putting out and crafting content about Warcrow, the community, and we can't wait to share more things with you.
Great stuff. We look forward to it. Thank you very
And
much.
I've had a blast. I mean, I need to come back here.
So every big release, we'll do a sit down and lose an afternoon chatting to each other. I'm here for it.
You know what?
That works.
100%.
Just do it.
I mean, I need to ask if I'm authorized to do that. But if do you know as regularly, hey, can we have Hoopoe back for an interview? And they will tell you, so that I'm not. I can't decide these things.
I'll just send an email when I get off the call. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Can we have a chat? We'll do the book club. It'll be brilliant.
Oh my god, yes.
You pick the book, we'll have the chat, and then every month we'll get together and discuss it. The latest, because if there's monthly releases from Warcrow, it'll be work. Because you can talk about Warcrow, and then we can just happen to chat about the book. Is this not genius?
It is.
I think so.
You're a mastermind. You're a mastermind.
Evil genius. That's why I want to play Scions. Anyway, although they're not evil, they're just trying to redress the balance in the world. Pretend things
to
are how
be
they
fair,
should be.
I always want to pose this question as in, I understand why you see them as the villains. They are the villains from Warcraw Adventures, but because you're living the history, you're living history from a very precise perspective, which is the characters.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, it's just their point of view. However, if you've seen how the map works and you've delved a little bit in the bits of lore that we have out on the website, you've realized how little the hegemony cares about the science. Like, who are these people? I don't care. I mean, the northern tribes or the parts that belongs to feudom are much more worrying. They're a pressing matter. And same for the dwarves. It's like science. Okay, it's just they're not this big menace that is coming to defeat everyone, and everyone's going to join on that same banner to fight back the science. Not really. Every nation in Warcraw has their very own interests. And that's it. It doesn't matter who is the opponent, or they're going to fight them. So
yeah. No, I have to say I love that about it. When I first saw them, you looked at Scions, you're like, yeah, they're the bad guys, and then you read into it, and it's like, no, they're part of a picture.
Yeah.
And that's
because again, to the people living in Gileadgard before the northern tribes arrived, the northern tribes are the villains.
Yeah.
Because they came in and
the invaders and did the do's.
And for the people that were there when the hegemony was forming, they are the villains. Or for feudom, hegemony are the villains. For Mount Haven, feudom are the villains. For the CNN, feudom are the real villains. Like, those two, CNN and feudom, are like, they hate each other. Like, the hegemony and feudom, they despise each other, they dislike each other, fight each other. CNN and feudom loathe each other. Like, it's pure hatred, as in like nourished hatred.
Second battle box confirmed right there. If they're that, it's gotta be.
Again, I'm not the one.
Who knows? Who knows? I think
if I just said it, if I just hit the nail on the head, I'm genuine about this. I don't like as for today, I don't know. But if I hit the nail on the head,
awesome.
Wow. Actually.
Mad skills. Love it. Cool. Right,
Thank you so much, Hydra.
a
Honestly, thank
genuine
you for
pleasure.
taking the time for having me. I've had a lovely time.
Absolutely, it's been a real blast, and we will do it again
Yeah.
soon. I will say thank you to all of the lovely viewers for joining us on this epic odyssey through Warcrow and the contents of our combined minds. I hope it's not been too traumatizing for you, and you've got some interesting and
Thank you for the
exciting
ride.
stuff. It's kind of like
Thank you for
therapy.
riding the flaming train. The flaming train.
This is group therapy with a Warcrow feel. It's good. It's good. It's good that we get this stuff out. If there are any questions that I missed, please whack them in the comments below. Let me know how much your hype has gone up for Warcrow. It should have done. If it didn't, there's something wrong with you. You need help. We will have more stuff coming soon. For the time being, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. We'll see you again soon. It's been fantastic. If you've really enjoyed it, join the memberships and all that sort of good stuff. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.